Welcome to Reggie's World. I'm your host, Reggie Reg. And I want to say thank you to everyone for checking out Reggie's World, the podcast on ReggieRegRadio.com. If you're listening to us, you can also check us out. Go to the website at ReggieRegRadio.com and go to our podcast page, and you can watch any of our interviews, any of our podcasts on demand. Anytime you want to, you can check out who we speak to and all the issues that we want you to know about. On today's program is my dear brother from another mother, same father, of course, my brother Joe Farley, who represents an organization that we refer to as Friends of Fathers, an organization that assists families. Don't get it twisted, because I always want to say he's really the baby daddy, the guy that helps baby daddies out, because we always get in trouble down at the courthouse. But he's actually over the group called Friends of Fathers that actually helps fathers do better with their families, but also just to help families come together, be together in unity. And that's what I like about what he has to offer and what Friends of Fathers is all about. So everybody, welcome him to the program. Welcome him to the program. This is Joe Farley. Yeah.
All right. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Reggie Reg. I really appreciate the honor to being before you. You know, your history here in Detroit for sure.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I really appreciate you and all that you have done to help out families. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, to help out brothers, because, again, hey, the black man in this country and society, this society has literally set us up, the black people, period, but especially the black man, set up for failure. If you look at the way it's designed, the whole spectrum of life for a black man in this country, it's tough for us, brother. We already have the shortest lifespan of anybody else, but we deal with a lot, man. So when you talk about mental health issues in with the black man, it's woo-wee. So I want to say thank you to brothers like yourself who understand what we deal with as black people, as black men, and you want to help us from that perspective. So when I met you and your team in front of the Penobscot building many moons ago, I'm going into the Friend of the Court downtown, and I'm just going through so many emotional issues and different things, and I'm about to turn into the door, and you had one of your representatives with having some paraphernalia and some documents saying, "Hey, we will help you deal with the Friend of the Court." And I said, "Well, for real? Okay, where you at?" Went upstairs and met you, and we've been friends ever since. You've helped me with situations that I've had that I needed some help with the Friend of the Court. And I just want to say, man, outright, thank you, Joe Farley, for all that you do.
Thank you for allowing us to do what we do. You know, our company, Friends of Fathers, our motto is about strengthening men and empowering fathers. And we do that through educating, advocating, and providing resource services to help enhance the quality of life for the fathers in their home and also in their community. So, I mean, you know, my hat's off to you. You know, I tell you, you one of those kind of clients that we love to have, because you show up. You know, you show up. You never had a bench worn out for you. You know, and that's one of the reasons, because you show up. When you don't show at that show cause, then the bench warrant will be issued out for you. It's not about the money. It's about they calling you in to show cause. So those are part of the educational processes that we deal with in reference to helping our fathers to navigate through the child support system.
And for those who do not know, now you're about to know, the Friend of the Court. Usually when a brother hear that name, Friend of the Court, like, just start clenching your teeth just hearing that name. The Friend of the Court is a quasi-governmental agency. They work with the courts through government, and you know what they're all about, what they do. But I want brothers that are listening to this piece to understand you don't have to be afraid, and I don't want you to run, because when you return their phone calls and when you get downtown to these courts, these hearings, these show cause hearings, it's something that you need to do. And again, when you participate and respond, then you look better. You know, your case is handled more easily. But when you don't answer and you ignore the letters and you ignore the phone calls, you do not show up for these court, and you get a bench warrant, then you're all upset. Then you got a job, and all of a sudden they start taking money out of your check. You got to be forthwith, bro. You got to face this. And the brother that I have on the line with us today, Joe Farley, he's a coach. He's going to help us deal with our situations with the friend of the court through child support, custody, parenting time, the whole nine. He's going to help us represent ourselves in a much better fashion. And that's what you do, Joe Farley. And just tell us more about Friends of Fathers.
Sure. And I'm glad you said it like that. It says you got to show up. You know, I talk to guys because I'm a men's life coach, so I talk to you like on a real basis. I'm not trying to be all the professional person that I know that I am. I'm also a degree paralegal, where I have a professional relationship with a number of different attorneys. So sometimes guys are like, man, I just don't want to speak. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do nothing. I want somebody to speak for me, and I have money to pay for a representative. So in that case, we have made some professional relationship with some attorneys who know what needs to be done. By the way, a paralegal, what we do, we research the law, we research on how to do the motions properly. And that is the number one issue that most men have. So I'm just going to let you know I do that part. But my main goal is my company, Friends of Fathers, where we're strengthening men and empowering fathers. And like I said at the top of the hour, our company mission is to educate you, to advocate, and to provide resource services to help enhance the quality of life of the father in their home and community. Now, we say that because so many fathers, you know, we're in our community, but we can have our driver's license taken. Now my driver's licenses are taken, and then I get a job. I'm sneaking to drive, okay, or I'm getting a bus, or I'm all these other things. It's enabling us not to do the right thing that a man can and should do for himself and for his family. Now, our vision is to help you to become self-sufficient, so you can actually do this on your own. Self-sufficient to yourself, your children, and your family. We say children and family because some fathers, like many of us, have more than one child by more than one mother, okay? But all of those children are considered your one family. I mean, that sounds like God. It sounds like Jacob in the Bible. It sounds like Abraham, don't it? And they had many wives, okay? And some of my guys are afraid to go to court because, man, dog, they're going to look down on me because I got all these babies, whatever. No, brother, you got a seed. And if you got a seed, you can take care of it. And the child support has a formula to make sure you take care of that seed. So sometimes that amount might be more than what you can afford, but you got to show them why you can't pay what they're asking for. Okay. Right now, this is I would say this season right now we're going through. If you got back child support, they are levying and freezing your bank account. I got a client that I'm working with right now. He has over $22,000 that's frozen. He can't access it. And if you don't do anything, guys, when you get that letter, if you don't do anything within 21 days, then they can take that money and disperse it. Okay.
Right.
So you want to have your time in court. And that's where filing the proper motion to address the issue. Because some of this stuff could be just owed to the state, and you could have qualified to get it erased or forgiven. It's so many things out there that you can do.
And a lot of times it's just a matter of we don't know. And again, that's why we have this brother here on the line with us, Joe Farley, representing Friends of Fathers, because he does know, he better understands the issue of the friend of the court and what we as families have to deal with, especially us as black men, dealing with the friend of the court. And like I say, the term compliance is the reason why, you know, a lot of cats would say, and back in my days on the radio, Reggie, man, you got children, you got kids just like us, man, and you don't ever go to jail, and you don't ever get a bench warrant, man. What you doing, man? And I let them know I'm being in compliance. As a matter of fact, what I do is I react in a proactive manner. So they may send me something, and I get right on it. I'll send them a letter or go to them at the court situation, and then later, as Joe Farley taught me to do, be proactive about it and reach out to them and say, hey, I want to set up a date to meet with one of your representatives because we need to talk. And that works. And then when they see you doing that, they can't give you a bench warrant. They can't create a felony for you on your behalf, which we're going to talk about in a moment. You can become a felon if you get over a certain amount owed to for your child support. So we're going to talk about because I don't want to be a felon, and I'm sure all the brothers are listening right now. You don't want a felony on your record because you didn't pay your child support. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But what I want to do, Brother Farley, is I want to allow people to know something that's very important. Because you mention this all the time, but I'm gonna say it again. You are a part of a group called Friends of Fathers, and you're a life coach. And you'll take a brother like me and anyone that has a situation or a case with the friend of the court, and you'll show us the best way to deal with our case. And that is what you do. You are not a lawyer, so we can't come to you for legal advice. Talk to us about that.
I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad that that's so important. And my disclaimer is that I'm not an attorney. I can't represent you in the court of law, nor can I give you legal advice. Let me just share with you the way it is supposed to be taught to you. I'm educating you based on information that is public information. And through that public information, I can show you, I just can't tell you exactly what to do. But let me tell you, as a men's life coach, the most important thing is to ask questions. From those questions, you give me answers. Those answers, as a life coach, I'm taking notes. You're taking notes, okay? And then once you get done having this conversation, just like the end of this conversation today, you're gonna find like, oh, I can contact Reggie. He got resources. He can hook me up with Friends of Fathers, and that's how you get the information in reference to what you need to say on your motion. Some of us don't even know. You don't want the child support case to reduce your rate when they can eliminate it. Now, how would that sound? It's like, well, I owe $100,000, and this is true from one of my clients. He owed $99,978 on one case in Wayne County and $76,000 or $79,000 in Oakland County. Based on his ability, he cannot never pay that amount of money back for those adult children. But because of his income, he qualified for a payment plan. And that's $25 a month for 24 months, which is a total of $600. So once he paid that amount, he no longer had to worry about any back child support, bench warrants. When he get a job, taking up to 50% of his income, he can get his tax refunds now. He don't have to worry about them levying the bank account, not taking your license, not basically getting a felony non-support. He missed that. That's a fortunate thing. But all of those things that I just mentioned, those are enforcements. These are enforcements that the court can do to you, and you don't even know it. And this is, I ain't finished. Your passport. They take your passport. You get a new woman. Y'all decide you're gonna get married. You're gonna go to Jamaica, and you need your passport. You can't go. The other thing is when your credit report, you will pay more on a car loan because you owe back child support. And the other thing at the top of the hour, you was talking about the felony non-support. Man, it's so many things that they can do to you. And that's the trauma that most men are going through. It's like, dang, I'm afraid to go to work because they're going to take my money. Right. It's like, man, forget that. And then some of us come from the streets where we go out there and hustle again. Okay, and some of us get too old. You see all this gray hair, bro? I can't hustle like that. I ain't be running and looking on my shoulder. So you are actually in the jeopardizing situation when you owe this back child support, and you could actually put together, like Reg, man, I'm so proud of what you were already doing before I met you. You're already addressing the issue, okay? But every time somebody's income is changing, you normally will get a show cause because you did not let them know my income changed. When your change of circumstance occurs, you can file a motion, guys. File a motion and say, hey, I can't pay what you used to charge me. I'm asking you, and this is a key statement, guys. I'm asking the friend of the court to charge me according to my current ability to pay. Now, that's their rules. Now you're talking like them. They understand. They don't understand. Man, y'all been charging me this so much money for years, man. How can I ever pay my life? I can't take care of my business. That's not in the rules. The rules are they got to change it because of your change of circumstances. Parenting time, custody, back child support, modification for child support, everything. That statement is golden for you. That's golden for you.
Absolutely. Back to the term compliance, brother Joe Farley. The term
I
I,
don't
I
like
use
that
over
word.
and over again. So back to my favorite word, compliance. And to these brothers out here that always wondering why I never get. I've never had a bench warrant. I haven't. I have children. I've been to the front of court many a times over the years. I've never had a bench warrant. When you get a bench warrant, automatically things start to go left. But you've allowed that to happen for yourself. Again, as Joe Farley keeps telling you, as I keep telling you, your cousin Reggie Reg, you need to be on top of the game. You need to comply. When they send you something in the mail, when they give you a phone call, answer the call. Don't throw it, don't look at it, oh, from the front of the court, just throw it in the trash. Open it up, read it, call the number. Respond, be responsive, be compliant. So my next question to you, Joe Farley, is what is the worst that can happen to a brother because he is not in compliance?
Right. Now, I'm serious. I don't like the word compliance because it's like I got to bow down to authority, and that's not really what it is. So I'll share like this. I got to show up. When we was growing up, boys, we fight all the time. It's like, oh, Joe, he ran around the block because he didn't want to fall. He didn't want to fight. No, I decided that I'm going to show up. Whether I get my butt beat or not, I'm going to fight. You're going to know that you can't chase me no more. And that's what you have to deal with the friend of the court. It's gotten to that point. Compliance, no, I ain't bowing down to you. I will show up. I will show up, and I'm gonna show with some truth. And if you don't, like cousin Reggie Red said, because I'm gonna tell you guys, he a client and he tough. Okay, so he don't punk down. He don't. He just don't. I'm like, dang man, why don't you just listen to what I'm saying? No man, you don't understand what I'm talking about. How does this make me feel? I'm like, dude, calm down. In the hall, bro. You don't understand. How you gonna tell me to calm down? And that's how real men are feeling. That's how we feeling, man. It's like you don't tell me to calm down. I'm like, go ahead, blow some smoke. You know you're paying for this time, though, right? You know you're paying for this time. Okay, so you do what you got to do. Now, let me go back to your point. In reference to the compliant, it's basically show up. If you ever get something in the mail from the friend of the court, respond to it, guys. Don't hold back on it. Don't say it'll go away, because what ends up happening when you don't show up, what happens is that judge will send out a writ, and that writ is going to say, go get Joe Farley. I want a bench warrant. And the bench warrant, guys, is this: you disrespected the judge. They told you to come in on Thursday at 9:00. And you didn't want to show up because you heard that they lock people up. No, you need to come equipped. If the bully calling you on the block, you're going to make sure you come equipped. Whatever weapon you need to have. And that weapon could be, first of all, with the friend of court, they want some money. Okay. Now, one of the other scary things about the compliance in the letter that they sent out, it says, and it's scary because I wish I can grab one from one of my files. It says that you must show up to court to show why we should not hold you in contempt of court in violation of the order that is in the place. Everybody got this letter. You see what I told you in the beginning? All this information is free information. You got the letter. That ain't Joe Farley giving you legal advice. That's what the letter says. So if you come there, you have to show why you should not be held in compliance or should not be held in contempt of court, where you can actually get 45 days in jail. Okay. And they tell you, you got to bring this amount, which is outstanding, which is like $1,600 or $16,000. You ain't got that kind of money. So you want to bring what you can. And I tell guys, man, make sure, I don't care if it's 50, 25, but you got to show them, hey, I haven't been employed. Get a copy of you remember, guys, in the back of the day, we used to get the Social Security letter that come out and told you all those years you worked and how much you made.
Right.
That's important information. If you brought that up to date, go down there to the state office and get a copy of that Social Security letter. It will show you all your income. So if you've been charged $500 a month for child support or $1,000 for a month, and you only make $2,000, doesn't that seem a little lopsided with taxes being taken out? Yeah, it is. So if you can show just cause on why you should not be paying that amount, now the court can understand they have to do it accordingly. So you got to show up. If you don't show up, now they're going to put a bench warrant out on you, and you can get locked up during Christmas time. Okay, during the holiday time, during the time you're going to pick up your baby, you running, you read past the red light, you get pulled over, you can get a ticket for that. But oh, wait a minute, bro, you got a bench warrant for child support. I got to take you down. If you get if you get an attorney, a police officer, some police officer, man, you need to take care of this and let you pass. But some of them will lock you up. I don't know what they got a quota or what, but some people they just let them go. But some people they lock them up. So you want to show up so you can be free, like because of Reggie Reg.
Right. So Joe Farley, the ignorance is sometimes a bliss. With ignorance, the term ignorance means lack of knowledge. It all it means. It sounds crazy when you hear it, you think it's bad or something like that. Ignorance is just you don't know. Like I was ignorant before I ran into you about many of the things that have to take place with the friend of the court and our dealings with the friend of the court. And like one term that I would always hear, but I wasn't exactly certain of what it was. And many guys I know, when they hear this term today, they don't know what it really means, and they get afraid and run away. Like you say, they don't want to go down to the court. And that's just the simple term show cause. When I first heard that, I've heard it before, but I didn't know exactly what that meant. I thought it was, hey, come show me what you got in your pockets and show me why you ain't get, we come here. That's what I thought. So I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of brothers. That term show cause, break that down for us, Joe Farley.
Yeah. The show cause, again, is that they have actually tried to call you or send information to you saying you haven't paid your bill, okay, your child support. You missed it about maybe 1 or 2 times. And that's like 2 months, 3 months. And sometimes this will be a whole year. And they'll do a show cause. And they say you need to come in to show cause. And that's just the word cause on why you did not pay what you were asked to pay. And most guys say, man, I can't pay it. But that's not a reason why. You have to explain to them and have proof in your hand saying, okay, great. Here's my income. Okay, I haven't had employment and I've been unemployed and you guys took money out my unemployment. And by the way, when I did my taxes 6 months ago, y'all took the $6,000 from me. You got to put your stuff together. Let them know I ain't trying to ignore this. And they say, well, why wouldn't you pay anything? I haven't had anything. Oh, so you just living off the air? Well, no, I live with my friend, and but how you eating? Well, my friend, and right now I got a bridge card. Oh, you got a bridge card, and you want to come in and let them know I'm living off assistance right now, financial assistance, not food, not welfare, guys. You get it twisted sometimes, and sometimes your pride will get your butt locked up. You need to go down there, put yourself on this bridge card. May not get number $12, but that's gonna be your ticket out of jail, bruh. That's going to be your ticket out of jail. And then when you get back on your feet and you start working, turn the bridge card back in for some other people. But remember, that bridge card, that financial assistance is because you paid taxes at one time. That's your money. Okay. So you want to make sure, guys, that you show cause and show them why. Don't go down there empty handed. Borrow $20, borrow $5, borrow some money. Okay. And don't go down there with a knot in your pocket. I got a knot right now in my pocket. I wouldn't go down there with that knot, okay? I would break this money down like some talk money, okay? I'll go down there with some 5s and some 10s and some 1s, and I'll go down even with some change, because sometimes I've heard some guys say they shake your pockets, bro, like they caught you in the alley.
Right. Yeah. So something that I want to do on this show, we want to the term felon is a term that's shaky to everybody, and it's easy for some brothers to become felons. We already know how the criminal justice system is set up, but that's for another show. But the term felon and how you can become a felon when you continue to not be in compliance and not show up and show cause and etc. You could become a felon when you continue to owe money and child support. So let's go ahead and break that down, because Joe Farley, the one thing that none of us brothers want to become is a felon. How can we avoid becoming a felon? What happens to drive us into that doorway of becoming a felon with the courts, with the government, and how is it that we can stop ourselves from becoming a felon?
Pay your child support. Pay your child. Like I say, pay your bill. Pay your bill. That's one way. But really, in reference to the felony, guys, on a serious note, it is whereas if you're not financially contributing to your child according to the court order, and you've been missing those payments time on end. I mean, you're just missing them. And guess what? You got a job. Okay, you might have a job underneath the table, 1099. You might have a lawn company, okay, and they know you got money. The mother knows you have money, but you ain't paying them. You have to show why you're not paying that amount of money. If that amount of money goes past $10,000, at one time it used to be $5,000 in Wayne County and $10,000 in Oakland County. But if you pass $10,000 or more of back child support and you're not paying, and they found that you had the ability to pay, you could be held in contempt of court and in prison for not more than 4 years. Okay. Wow. That means you can go to prison for 4 years. And people say, why are they going to lock me up? I ain't got a job. I ain't got a job. How can I pay? I ain't got a job. Well, you didn't do the first thing. Like I'm telling you, Reggie is right. He never been locked up or got a bench warrant on him. Why? Because he showed up. When his job changed, there's a couple times when his job changed and his income went down. Y'all know who we're talking to. His income went down. So when it went down, he didn't go down there and modify the child support. And that's where the back child support comes. Mm-hmm. And because you missed those times, you basically, the money's just stacking against you. And guess what? If you got back child support back in 1984, Governor Engler, and this is how this is really occurring to a lot of us, Governor Engler passed a law stating that every January 1st and July 1st, they would charge an additional 4% on that balance for your child support. So if you got $10,000 in back child support, they add another $400 on the first of the year. And then in the half of the year, in July 1st, they're going to add another 4% on that balance. So now you got all of this surcharges. It sounds like it's doggone interest rate, but it's called surcharges. And that extra money goes to the mother or it goes to the state. So that's another thing. So if all this money building upon you and you're not paying it and you're ignoring it, you will possibly be charged as a felony non-support child support case. And that you don't want to get. You don't want to do that because now you got a felony on your doggone record. And wow. That's good. And when you get a felony on your record, Reg, it don't say felony for drugs or paraphernalia. They don't say that. It says you got a felony. And they're going to have to dig a little bit deeper to find out what the felony is all about. So there's some things that I educate guys on how to take care of that felony. And you might be able to get bonded as well. But right now, guys, you need to get those things expunged. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because we don't want to become a felon because, as a felon, you can't do nothing. It's hard to get a job, a place to live, and it's a terrible thing, and you know what I'm saying, fellas. So please be in compliance and respond when you get these letters from the friend of the court. Don't be afraid, and we've got this brother right here, Joe Farley, who will help you out, make you feel much better. He helped me out, made me feel much better, and helped me go into the court and plead my case, and everything is all right. We're going to come back after the I'm going to run our little disclaimer, Joe Farley, so people know what they're listening to and what this is all about. ReggieRadio.com and Reggie's World. We're going to break some stuff down for them real quick. And when we come back, I have several questions from folk who know about your work. And they want to know this, they want to know that, and I'm sure you can answer these questions. So let's take a quick pause for the calls and come back so you can answer some questions from some mainly fellas, but we got some from some ladies that want to know about the friend of the court. All right, Brother Farley, we'll be right back, bro. All right. Y'all check this out. The views and opinions of Reggie's World podcast are absolutely positively those of Grown Folks Radio Network, the parent company, the Express Yourself Network. And due to the fact that we are broadcasting via internet radio and not the antiquated terrestrial radio broadcasting method, I can say what the hell I want to say without a program director who really does not care what the hell I say. But due to the fact that he works for a gigantic corporate radio group that really doesn't give a damn about the concerns that need to be addressed in my community, but they are instead standing on pins and needles with the FCC. So he tells me to refrain from being me by having a very strong opinion about any and every damn thing I wish to have a strong opinion about, followed by a threat to reprimand me if I continue to be my individual human self by standing up for my absolute constitutional right to express myself through freedom of speech, which is a strong part of this nation's law of the land, instead of just simply allowing a brother to express himself. Well, for clarification, I am here on Reggie's World to speak as freely and as genuinely as I fucking please. Because as the title says, this is my world. So if you have a problem with me expressing my viewpoint on life's issues, then here's my recommendation for you, dear cousin. Turn me off. Turn me the hell off. And that there concludes this disclaimer. I'm just saying. All right, so now we have a better understanding, right, Joe Farley? Now you understand.
Now I can say the hell I want.
if you didn't know, now you know. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So for those of you who are just joining us, this is Reggie's World, the podcast that everybody's talking about on ReggieRegRadio.com. And I'm joined by my man, Mr. Joe Farley, who represents Friends of Fathers. It is an organization that pretty much helps families deal with custody cases, support cases, and the whole nine. He wants to bring the family together. Want to make sure that the mother, the father, and the children are together and they're happy and they're succeeding. That's the type of a man he is, and I appreciate this brother Joe Farley and his organization, Friends of Fathers. And we have it scrolling across the screen, our little banner there. It says that if you need assistance with Friend of the Court matters, please contact the Friends of Fathers organization. And the number's right there, 313-983-0044. For those who are just listening to us, I'll say that number again, 313-983-0044. And you can also check us out at ReggieRegRadio.com. Go to the podcast page, and on demand, you can pull this down, listen to it time and time again, and get the number and call Joe Farley and take care of your business. Handle your business. Now, Brother Farley, what we have now is I have a number of people who know about your program and your services, and they have questions before they call you to do business. So let's just break down a couple of these questions. The first one here says, see, here's a brother says, the court got me on a bench warrant and I don't want to show up and show cause because my baby mama only wants to take my money and she keeps my son away from me. I haven't seen him in 5 years. He's 6 now. What the hell do I do?
Wow. I just got that call actually just yesterday, similar to that. It wasn't 6 years or 5 years, but it was about a couple of years. Well, first of all, guys, you want to make sure if the friend of the court is charging you child support, that means that there's a court order. You need to get a copy of the court order. Contact a friend of the court. You can contact for the state of Michigan. You can contact this toll-free number. It is 877-543-2660. Again, 877-543-2660 or 2660. So you want to contact that number and find out how to get a copy of your court order. The court order costs about $20 or $4. And this way, before you go to try address the issue or you talk back to the mother, get your court order. Most of us have a parenting time order that says I have reasonable parenting time. A lot of the old cats do. The newer clients or new FOC clients, they have a parenting time schedule, which is like every other weekend, 1 day through the week, or something. And you can use that order to say, hey, I'm supposed to have my child during this particular time. And then you want to contact the police. okay? Because you're supposed to see your child. So when you don't see your child, you can actually have your court order saying, I'm supposed to see my child. This is the every other Saturday and every other weekend. And then some police officers will do something about it. If they don't, at least get the badge ID number and the report number saying that you made contact with them to get your parenting time. You got to have some evidence. And guys, you got to have it done within the last occurrence to enforce that parenting time order has to be within 56 days. So say, for instance, it's been 5 years. Now you need to call, you need to try to reach out, get your parenting time, and then that's when you're now back in line with that court order. So you need to contact the court, let them know, and you need to file a motion. You need to file a motion. Now, which motion you need to file, I wouldn't know until I basically talk with you and go through our process that we have. And that's when you can come to friendsoffathers.com and go to our contact page and come to our free informational session. That free informational session is very powerful. So come to that. We do that every other weekend. Every other Monday, first and third Monday, but you got to register to be part of it because I can't even take the phone calls. And when I first started out, I would do it one-on-one. I can't do that now. So we use this social media.
Yep. So take advantage of that to get your situation taken care of, bro. Another one. Here we go. This is from a brother as well. It says, my daughter's mother is trying to terrorize my life. They live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I live in Inkster, Michigan. I make $15 an hour, and she keeps threatening to call the FOC on me and take all my money. And she keeps making it hard for me to see my daughter on a regular basis. I keep hearing that kind of stuff. What should I do?
Yeah. Well, one thing, if you have a court order or you have a child support case, then your order, I'm going to tell you what an attorney told me. The order speaks. Whatever the judge signature on, that's what speaks. If it's not speaking what you want it to speak, you file a motion to change it, okay, to what you believe it should be. And then you go through the process, and the judge or the referee and the mother and you will come to a conclusion on a happy medium, what's going to be in the best interest of that child. So you need to file a motion to address it. And you making money, $15 an hour, some guys will say, well, man, I don't even want to be in child support, man. That take all my damn money.
Right.
Did you know that child support calculation, guys, child support calculation is based off of your income and hers. So if she's making $30 an hour, you're making 15. And just imagine that. You making 15, she making 30. And you got your child, according to the court order, 50% of the time, 182.52 days. I'm sorry, 182.52 days, yes, which is half of the 365. Then most likely you may not even pay child support. If it is, it's going to be very, very little. And if you make it 16 and she make it 15, it's not that much money you're going to be paying. And besides, you want to pay your financial obligation to the mother, whether she spending that money on bubblegum and doing her hair, whatever, that ain't your business. But when your baby's not being taken care of, if she got holes in her shoes and she ain't have no clothes on when she come over there, now you can file a motion saying, hey, I'm paying for this and she's not providing this. Your baby coming there with a snotty nose or all the time, or her teeth are missing and got blots in her hair. She got red eye and all that, pink eye and all that stuff. That's a concern. You have a joint legal right in reference to the physical, the health of the child, the education, and the spiritual development. She can't be over there doing Satan worshiping and you up here being a believer in another believer or whatever, Christ. Right. You can't have all of that. You need to, because you can't come together. That's what the court is going to be for. Now, that's kind of bold. I can hear Brother Shabbat. What's the kind of
Muhammad?
Yeah, Brother Muhammad. If he was on this call right now, he said, "Man, we don't want the court in our business, raising our kids."
Right.
That's something that two parents should come together on. But when you can't come together, unfortunately, you got to use that system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times guys talk about, I ain't making no money, make it like this guy said, $15 an hour. And like you said, they break it down between you and the mother of the child. Now, here's a flip situation right here. This is a concern from Gina. She says, my name is Gina, and this is totally different than that one. She says, my name is Gina. I am a registered nurse. I make 90 grand a year. My baby daddy is unemployed and can never keep a job. He keeps our 8-year-old daughter when I'm working, and he is threatening to sue me for child support. Can he do that?
Yeah, he can. I can sue her for child support.
Really?
Yes. Anybody can sue anybody.
Well, I guess what she means is when
know.
we get over. Yeah.
I understand. I understand. I just want to make that very clear. Anybody can sue anybody. I'm not a lawyer, but I can sue her. Anybody can sue her. However, if he if he gonna try and sue her for child support, yeah, he can do it. He can try it. And if he's got the child, some of those overnights, I tell you guys, you might want to put stuff in writing for yourself. And why not have a child support order? And if he's avoiding child support, if he's avoiding employment and he's employable, that can be some imputing going on, meaning that they impute income on him. So, but you want to really sit down with them, and you want to talk to him. Hey, I know you don't try and take me to child support or whatever, but bro, I got 90 grand, and I'm gonna come with an attorney, and we're gonna come and do this work right, okay? Because I'm not gonna just, I'm agreeing with you to take care of our child, and you keep it while I'm at work. But now you're gonna flip the script and get some money off of it too. It's okay. Now if the shoe was on the other foot, she'll do that to him. Wouldn't she? Wouldn't she?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you gotta look at it both ways. When you go into a fight, you gotta like, okay, he big, he's small, he can do this to me, I can do that to him. You gotta measure it all out. So in a sense, and then what's most important for the child? That's the other statement. What's important? Is it important that you fight him and not have get the child support when he's taking care of the child off his no money?
Right.
Are you paying him? Are you helping him? Whatever. It's a lot of different situations. If it was me, I'd most likely be working. But if I had hard times, I would be talking to her and say, hey, I need a couple dollars to help her out when I have baby girl with me.
Right.
Probably a life, Reg, when she with me and I don't have no job and I'm barely, got to keep a job and got a car, and she over there at mama's house at a $200,000 home, child is kind of coming over here in my crib, and I ain't really got a crib. This is my grandma's house. You got to give the quality what's in the best interest of the child.
But tell me this, Joe Farley, how often do you see, because this is a female, talking about a friend of the court situation, how often is the female suing or going against the father, or should I say the opposite way? The opposite way, I mean. Yeah. How is it that this guy is suing, or how often do you have brothers that are suing the baby mama for child support? Because I don't really hear that much. Does that happen? Do they come to you about issues like that?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, because again, the child is with the father, and the mother sometimes don't be consistent with her parenting time. Little girl needs her mother, and some fathers have done that just because of that. His mom just won't be involved, man. My baby want to see her mama, and she don't want to come see. She don't want to come see my baby girl crying, and she ain't trying to look at my girlfriend as her mama, especially if mom is in the picture, but she's not in there consistent. And on top of it, sometimes, like her, making good money, and I'm making $30,000, and you keep on, when you pick up the baby, you're asking me for some money. How you don't ask me for some money? When you ain't paying me nothing, but it's your time, but you want to ask me for some money? So my guys go down there. Yeah, you can sue for child support. Child support is done by men too.
Wow, yeah. I didn't know that. Know that. I mean, wow. Okay. That's interesting. Another question for you, Joe Farley, Friends of Fathers, helping us out with Friend of the Court Matters, trying to help keep families together. This one, let me see, it says, me and the mother of my 2 6-year-old twin daughters are fighting for full, okay, this is custody, about a custody issue. They're fighting for full custody. I am an engineer and I make about 200 grand a year, and she is a teacher and she makes 40 grand a year. Shouldn't I have sole custody of my twins? By the way, they live with their mom 100% of the time. I see them on occasion. What do you think about that, Joe Farley?
My man saying he wants to have full custody, but he don't see the child.
Yeah.
And mom has the child majority of the time.
Yeah.
And should he sue her for full custody?
So I'm not sure if he wants to see the children and she's not allowing him to, or what. He didn't say that.
Okay. Yeah. And that becomes a thing. It's like if he's trying to see the children and the mother's not allowing it, should he file for full custody? Well, he wants to do whatever he want to file for, he wants to file for it and do it. With me, because I'm not an attorney. However, I'll talk to him. Hey, let's print the picture. Let's write it down. Okay, you won't get full custody. And the last time the child saw you is 12 years old, but the last time you saw it was at 4 years ago. You don't have what they call the established custodial environment. There's no relationship with you. She's been keeping the child away from you, and you ain't said nothing to the court. And I'm sorry, let me repeat this the right way. You haven't filed a motion to the court to let the court know. You probably called down there and talked to Shanika and Ray Ray on the phone saying, she got my baby. She won't let me see him. They're like, well, sir, you need to file a motion. You need to file a motion, and you don't do it for 4 years. You are keeping the gap between you and your child. So you haven't done the proper thing. However, you still need to file a motion. Whether you're going to end up getting some parenting time, some supervised visitation, or what have you. Sometimes if it's a 12-year-old little girl and you haven't seen her for 5 or 6 years, she may not want to have nothing to do with you. But let's just say the child does want to see her dad. You need to file a motion. Again, what's in the best interest of the child? And you need to do it soon.
Joe Farley, when they don't file a motion just consistently over and over, you just don't file it. You tell them that's what they got to do. Everybody tell you got to file a motion, and they never do it. What is that? A lack of what is that? Laziness? Why can't you just go file? I mean, what is it about?
Brother Muhammad said that before. He said that before, man. It's like, what is that? What is it that a man doesn't do what he needs and supposed to do? What's going on? Is there a chemical imbalancing or something? It's basically what I found is that you said it earlier. It's ignorance, lack of knowledge. You can tell a person, pick up that brick and put it over here. Take this, take out the trash, and they don't take it out. It's like the trash gets overflooded and they don't do it. It's something about when they get enough is enough, then they do it. Sometimes people just don't have the patience, or they don't have the knowledge, or they're afraid. And that's one of the key things that I found is that most men are afraid. They're afraid to address these life issues first. I don't want to get locked up. Child support ain't. Before Friends of Fathers, have you heard of a father that will be interested in going to the court? Nobody. And then when I'm telling them, you got it, man, this is what you got to do. You got to go down there. Matter of fact, let's make a phone call. Remember, we made phone calls together.
Right.
You knew the question. I got this list of most important questions to ask. That's the other thing. They don't know what to ask. All they do when you call, most guys say, man, this is wrong, man. She's doing this to me. And they don't want to hear all that. So you need to ask the right information. And that's why it's called educating and providing coaching and educational services with Friends of Fathers. So we can educate you. Because I know you know what you want to say. But we got to get that frustration down first and then make the phone call. It's a lack of knowledge, I believe, Reg. I'll close with that. It's just a lack of knowledge and most of all, the fear.
And I want to thank everybody for these questions because it's compelling to hear a lot of the answers that Joe Farley has. Remember, again, he's not a lawyer, so he's not giving legal advice, but this brother will help counsel us, so we will do very well in front of the front of the court. This is from another sister, Tammy. Tammy says, Brother Joe Farley, and I don't know if this is a question or just a comment, but she starts it as a question. It says, why is the FOC, why is the front of the court so cookie cutter? Everybody has their own unique situation. I feel sorry for baby daddy sometimes. So maybe she looks at it from the other side and says that, hey, yeah, the courts, because I said this to you, and I know many brothers say it all the time, it seems like the courts are more in favor of the female. But this sister is saying, hey, she sees that as well, and she thinks that the courts are more in favor, or they're totally, or almost, I don't want to say totally against, but very much so against the brothers that come before them. What do you think about that?
Well, it appears that way. A lot of people say it's a woman's state. Well, I tell you what, it's a woman that is in charge of that case majority of the time. But what you guys don't realize is that a lot of the cases are started by the state of Michigan on behalf of the child via the woman. When she get on state assistance, the woman is the one that got it on state assistance. So therefore, the court has to sue the other party, which is most likely the father. And because the father is afraid of paying child support, or not necessarily to pay child support, just to pay the appropriate amount, and they don't understand how the formula works. It always comes out, man, that's just too much to pay for a child. No, if you look at it, you can break it down. It's not that much. And the key thing is, going back to what she's saying, I kind of feel bad for the father, she said, because a lot of it seemed like they just gonna go with the woman. Well, the key thing is that what is it that the man wants? He needs to know what he wants. Why? And when you go to court, what you need to do is address what you need and what you want. And then it becomes something that you can understand a little bit more. And I'm going to tell you, man, it does appear that everything is favored towards the woman. But remember, you got a majority of these cases are started by the state of Michigan on behalf of the child via the mother. So they going to win. It appears that, hey, they're going to win, but it's not winning. It's unfortunate that some of us don't put ourselves on child support. Reg, I'm gonna introduce you to one of my clients in the near future after he finishes his case, but that's a prime example. He said, when I met him 4 years ago, he said, man, I don't want to get involved with child support. But then the mother him and the mother broke up, and she took the child away from him. You know what she said to him? She said to the little baby, no, this is a little girl. She's 5 years old. She said, you ask the little baby, do you want to talk to your daddy? She said, yeah, I want to talk to my daddy. She playing, yeah, I want to talk to my daddy. And she says, you want to talk to your daddy? She says, yeah, I want to talk to my daddy on the phone. And then she says, well, all right, I'm gonna let you talk to your daddy, but this is gonna be your last time talking to your daddy. You don't ever gonna talk to him again, ever. And that woman took that out and didn't let him see the child. And I remember telling him 4 years ago on another case, and when he had the little baby, I said, man, you need to put yourself on child support, start the case. Man, I want them in my business. I want them in my business. It's so many things that happened to this little girl when he called, and this is going on right now. And literally, it put him in tears. He can barely talk about it. I'm telling you, I know he's going to come on your show for when we talk one other time in reference to parenting time and custody. That is
right. Yeah. I can't wait for that. And pretty much this will be our last one before we close, Brother Joe Farley. And this one, I think this is a brother here too. He says, my 3-year-old son and his mother live in Tampa, and I live in Detroit. Is my baby mama able to get me on child support through state lines? Kind of reminds me of my situation.
That's why I was laughing, Red. I was like, you answer that question.
Right. Right.
You answer that, Coach Red.
Yeah, it seems like every state has some different kind of laws or rules or regulations. So I don't know Florida, but he's saying he's in Detroit and she's in Tampa, and can he get sued through state lines, Florida and Michigan?
Yes, can. Because again, what's in best interest of the child? And the best interest for the child, two things. Let's start with the most positive, is that the child needs the father. The father should reach out so that he can get his parenting time with that child, first of all. And if she's in another state, both parents are financially obligated to the children, to the child. So therefore, yes, they can reach across those state lines. Mm-hmm. And you better be careful because you don't know how the felony part works in that particular state. And as we know, in reference to California, those surcharges that I was talking about at the top of the hour, 4% on January 1st and July 1st, that stopped in 2009 here in Michigan for it to be automatic. However, they still can impute it on you. But if you got child support in the arrears in California, that percentage is every month. Every month. You got a $500 bill, but yet and still your bill could be $10,000, and they charge, for example, 6%. 6% on that $10,000, is that 600? Oh no, that ain't 600. It's not 600 be 60%. So No, I think it is.
Yeah, that's about yeah.
It's $600.
Wow.
Damn. How can she make that's a lot of money you making off of me?
Right.
That's a lot of money. You making money on top of money. So you got $10,000 and you're going to charge me an additional 6%. That's $600. And my arrears payments is 500. I'll never get out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's worse than doggone loan shark money.
Wow.
You never can get out of it. So you want to make sure that you contact that state, man, in Florida, and find what's going on. Get your matter of fact, it'd be surprising if you knock on their door and say, "I'm trying to get child support so I can get my parents."
Right. I know that's right.
That's
Right.
what you do.
Hey, Joe. So it's something I want to ask you. You deal with a lot of different cases. You help brothers and sisters and families all together. Where's the balance? What do you see more of between parenting time, custody, child support, and the whole nine? I'm thinking you get more child support, or am I wrong?
Actually, we get more of the back child support, the arrears, and then it becomes child support. And more than ever, we have seen a growth in men talking about parenting time
Really?
and then custody.
Wow.
And I'm getting a lot of fathers now in this process of order that are suing to start cases.
Mm.
To start cases. Like that gentleman I told you about, the little girl said, mom said, you're never going to talk to your daddy. He's had to start a case. So a lot of
Really?
men now are starting the case.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in that order. Back child support, and then you got the child support amount for the monthly bills, and then you have the parenting time and custody, and then you have the establishment of a case. I'm putting myself on child support so I can have a court order to exercise my parental rights.
Wow, interesting. You fellas need to pay attention to that. That's something they really need to wise up on and do. I like that. That's a great idea. You know, you put yourself on child support. I hear that. Don't be afraid, fellas. I'm telling you, this brother's here to help us. Joe Farley, of Friends of Fathers. That's what it's all about. Before we close, I got to ask you about a situation. This was some years ago, and you say you get. I think you mentioned this earlier on this show or another show. We were talking about it. The situation about passports. I was getting ready to go out of the country one time, and this was years ago. And because of the child support, they held it up, and they said I had to either pay a certain amount or I couldn't go on that, or I couldn't get my passport renewed. Whatever the case was, there's issues with passports, and brothers need to understand this, because a lot of us like to travel, and it'll come down to, if you're not paying your arrears or your child support on a consistent basis, they have the right to stop to challenge your passport.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you're past $2,500 or more in back child support, your passport can be relinquished and be taken away from you. Okay, so you want to make sure you keep your amount below that. But likewise, even if you did have, if you had the passport taken away, you can ask for a working passport. And sometimes that works for you as well. So you want to make sure. See, remember, we went through a whole list of, at the top of the hour, all these things that they can enforcements against you. That's why I don't like that word compliance. It's like, I don't want to be compliant to that. You know, I'm trying to be compliant. I'm trying to tell y'all I can't pay. And then all of a sudden now you telling me, oh, you got a bench warrant. I came down here to pay y'all. No, you got a bench warrant from 2,000 years ago, so you got to pay, you got to get locked up. Like, wait a minute, don't do that to me. I'm trying to fix this. So yeah, you want to address that issue for the passport, because if it's $2,500 or more, most likely it is revoked, and basically you no longer have access to it, and you got to get it all started back again. And the mother, she can actually get you, she can agree to allow your passport to be reinstated.
Wow. Well, hey, to the brothers, I'm going to say this. It's flashing at the bottom of the screen. This is a good brother, Joe Farley. I've been knowing him for years. He's helped me and a lot of my cousins, my real cousins, and some brothers I know with situations down at the front of the court. Don't be afraid. Just give this brother a call. He'll help you out. Joe Farley with Friends of Fathers Organization. And I wanted to ask you this in closing. dear brother Joe Farley. You talked about your informational package that you're putting together describing the services of Friends of Fathers. When can we see that?
Well, actually, the services that we're talking about is my free informational session, which is held on every first and third Monday evening.
Yeah, so that's I think like a little seminar you do, but isn't there like a book or something that you're writing? That's what I'm referring to. Something you're talking about. Yeah, the book. I think it's a book.
Yeah, you sound like my the VP of the company. When you gonna get that book out? When you gonna get that book out?
Right. That's what I'm talking about. What's up with the book, dog?
Yes, the book in reference to the most important questions that men never ask. It's a workbook that I'm actually coming out with in reference to helping men for helpful hints and tips on how to navigate through the child support system on your own. So that's what I'm actually going to be, that I'm working on right now, that needs to be published right away. And let me rephrase it. It will be published. Mm-hmm. Okay. It should be published by the close of the first month in next year, end of January.
Excellent. We're going to look out for that. And if you are listening to us on ReggieRegRadio.com, you can hit his brother and you can hit the telephone number I'm about to give you so you can call him if you need his help. If you need assistance with a friend of the court matters, please contact the Friends of Fathers organization. That is Joe Farley's organization, 313-983-0044. That's 983-0044. And you can also go to our webpage at ReggieRegRadio.com, go to the podcast page and look up Joe Farley, and you can watch this over and over again on demand to find out what you need to know before you go down there and face, and you get the strength and the courage to face the friend of the court. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Right, Joe Farley? Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
So, everybody, one time again, give it on up for my dog, my man, my brother from another, Joe Farley. Yeah. So thanks again for joining us, and let's do it again. This is like a 50-part series, bro, so get ready.
Okay, praise the Lord. All right.
My man, Joe Farley. And thanks for hanging out with us today, cousin. We'll talk to you again on the next episode of Reggie's World. And until that time, until we talk again on Reggie's World, I want you, cousin, I want you to be blessed.